Hello, this is Hellsen, and welcome to a new play by email. Now, this is against Deaniks. Now, this is a modded game, so this is called Pacific First. It is made by a Vulcan, and on top of this, we did about 500 points of variance, so it's extremely going to be crazy, OP. Uh, yeah, it's going to be insane. If now I'm making this video, I'll probably do one or two more. We're going to try to gauge people's interest in it. So I'm going to go over basically what the mod is in this video, maybe into variants. We'll see how long it is. I'm trying to keep these videos halfway short for you guys. So what's different with this mod is, all right, so we're going to first off, this mod is designed to go into 4647. So it's made to go very long. So if you kind of like look at ETAs here, you know, we have a bunch of carriers built in 47, 46, and so on. So we get a lot of things at it. Now, the naval shipyards has been expanded quite a bit. Your armaments and vehicles have been expanded a little bit. And, you know, it's this isn't the most up-to-date version. This happen to be the one I have. But it's been expanded quite a bit. Now, your heavy industry's been expanded a lot. The biggest difference things going to be for industry, and that is to go to a late war. He's added 830 oil recycling. So this is a very hot point that you got to protect. This is going to feed your economy into 46, 47. You still need to take pound bang in that because you have such a bigger fleet. You need the fuel, you need the resources, you need everything to keep this economy going. But as you can tell, you got 600 refinery plus 530 oil. So you're going to get a lot of fuel and supply out of here, but you're also going to need to keep fueling it. That's one of the biggest difference as far as economy goes. The order of battle, he's added a bunch of German equipment. So you got extra German ships, basically the high seas fleet. You don't have German U-boats, but you get the Bismarck, the Tirpitz, Nassau, and a bunch of destroyers and so forth. So all the Japanese high sea fleet you get, or not Japanese, the German high sea fleet you get. You get German planes. You don't get to produce them, but they're a certain rate, sort of how the Allies are. So you get those. You do get German tanks. So German tanks are available. So you get some units with German tanks. They're going to be Panthers and Tigers, but you get a very limited amount of those. You get German anti-tank guns, so it can help with the Allied tanks. So in shipwise, so our starting ships, so we get an extra carrier, so we get the Amagi, so that has a midnight. The Congos are still the Congos, but I believe he's upgraded. Nagato and Mutsu is now key classes, so he's added different, more modern battleships for us. So those that Yamato and Musashi have both been built and deployed at the start. Fuso and Yamashira is still the same, but you can upgrade those to the fight things. Yeah. You get large cruisers. So the I think it was called the B-65 program, the large cruisers. Yeah, those are available in this one. And then he's kind of made a bunch of others upgrades. Now, one of the nice things about this mod is all your destroyers and a bunch of other stuff can be upgraded. So like the Minikaze classes, which short range, out of date, you know, 1920 destroyers, you can upgrade these, convert these to Akizuki class destroyers. Most of your ships can carry troops in this mod. Again, these Asago all can be upgraded to that. You can have Japan gets APAs, so you can get some APAs, so you can continue going further in. I believe all these torpedo boats can be upgraded to E's and some other escorts. I think there's some other ones, like some of the bigger ones. I thought we could do some fancy stuff. Now he's went ahead and did a lot of the conversions that you do for patrol boats and mine layers and stuff like that. He did that automatically. He's already went ahead and set up the economy for you. So if you go here, you already got the AKs in Port Arthur. You got to set it up in Shanghai, so you don't have to spend like your first 2 turns doing, you know, taking a week or 2 weeks is setting up and having all these ships transported to your base. They're already there. They got the patrol boats that are converted already, so they're really set up for the war. Now your land is kind of crazy too. So on the land, he has added or unrestricted a few divisions. So like the 7th and 77th, it starts off unrestricted. He's giving you some armor units. So let's do AVA. So we had 6th Tank Division, 1st Tank Division, 4th Tank Division. So you start off with 3 tank divisions and multiple brigades. Armor. So you have quite a bit of extra armor. And they start off, this starts off in Qingchao. 133 is a pretty strong unit. First tank starts off in Korea, but the game is designed for you to be able to use, not have the power political point to cross borders, because you're going to need them in China. All the Chinese have basically been pulled back to defensive terrain. So all these guys are in ×3 terrain. The setup is a defensive line. Kukan's defensive line. These are all the very rough terrains to set up to that. But the annoying thing is, all the Chinese brigades are a little bit stronger. He's even put one Chinese brigade in Hong Kong to make Hong Kong harder to take. They get stewards. So each one of these Chinese brigades is going to get 12 stewards. They don't start off that way, but you have supply, and once they become available, you turn them on. They're going to get stewards. He has 3 units over in Lashio. Then these guys are the Chinese units that were U.S. equipped, but in his thing, they're actually U.S. units. Basically, they use the U.S. squads, so you can supply them. You're going to have basically what amounts to 3 American divisions right on the border of Burma. I think a total of 7 of the Chinese divisions eventually can become that particular style. 1 becomes Russian, and I think 2 becomes British. So you're going to have a total of like 10 divisions of other allied troops that the Chinese will get. So China needs to fall as quick as you can get it to fall. So he also put a big focus on paratroops. There's a lot of paratroops that you get. So you get 2 glider infantry brigades, about 159. There's even a para tank unit. There's a bunch of other raiding units and stuff like that. He made them like all the divisions start built in the beginning. So like 18th, 2nd, 16th, they're already built. So you don't have to spend the time putting them all together. They're already built. He's buffed up some of the Naval Guard units to 120 AV. He's buffed up some of the, he's like doubled the aviation support in a lot of the other big units. So you get a Marine division that's set up for Mersing. Although Mersing's not as easy as it was in the past, because he's taken the fortress that was in Georgetown and he moved it to Mersing. So unless you severely bombard Mersing, you're going to take a lot of casualties, because it's got 9-inch guns, and I think even like some bigger guns than that. Now it's made for realistic R&D off, and the reason it's made for realistic R&D off is because he's made all these units upgrade to something else. So there's a specific path for everything, right? So Claude upgrades to M4 Claude, or 0, 3, 3, 3A, 3A, 5, 5B, and so forth. The reason it's made this way in realistic R&D off is you have to research in order. So I can't just go, oh, I fix all 30 factories in 0 and go straight to fucking SAM. No, I have to research A6M30. I have to research A6M3A in order. But everything's spelled like that. So Kate will go to Jill, and Jill will go to Grace, and so forth. So it's made to that, but you have to research them in order. Now, since this does make sort of Japan a little bit stronger, it's made for no withdrawals, so you don't have to worry about that from the Allies. So it kind of helps out on that. Now, you also get German aircraft. Like I said that earlier, these are prediction like this. So we get BF 110s, 109s. We get Focke-Wulf 190s, German bombers, and so forth. We have a heavy bomber for the Japanese. So we get a 4-engine bomber for the Japanese. both an Army and a Navy variant. We get Stukas, so pretty nice. And there's some long range recon and a some longer range paradrops because, well, it's made for, you know, to be able to use the paratrooper that he's added to it. So that's basically the start of the game. So that's where we're at the start. So this is the mod. We get all the German high sea fleet. So if you take a look at ship availability, yeah, so we get the Graf Zeppelin, the Peter Strasser. So these come in on April, and they come in with, Admiral Etzal, Tirpitz, all these guys come in. They all, they'll have some heavy cruisers like Seyditz and Rune. The cool thing about Seyditz and Rune is they come in with just AA guns. So these were not ever built. They were in the process of being built. They come in through the Great Northern Passage over here. So they're going to come onto the board right here. They're going to come in through here. And then when you get them into the yards, you can upgrade them and add the guns. So it's pretty nice. So I think that's pretty neat. Then you get Admiral Hooper and Prince Eugen. And so that's basically the mod. Now, we decided to go insane and add about 500 points of variance on this, which I will go over in my next video. And we'll probably do that, and I'll show you what our situation is, and I'll show you my strategy for first turn. We've already played the first turn. Second turn, we'll probably be back in the next couple of days. I'm going to probably put a gap in between when we're actually playing and when you can get to watch it. But make sure if you're interested and you want to watch this, come over to my Twitch page. We can watch it live there. So I will catch you guys hopefully on Twitch, or in probably about a week we'll have the first turn out. And I hope to see y'all then.